Hi everyone, today I'm going to be making some butter just by using some fresh cream and a stand mixer that I have on my countertop all the time. First, you're going to need to put all your ingredients together that you're going to use. This is really simple. It's basically just a spatula, cold water with ice, and I use a pitcher, half-gallon pitcher, and that way you can strain the water and keep the ice out. And then, of course, cream. I'm using 1 quart of cream, but it's a cultured cream. It's basically just got cultures of good bacteria in it. It's going to make the butter taste really good. This is everything you're going to need for this recipe. Obviously, a container for afterwards, but this is 1 quart of heavy whipping cream. This is a half-gallon of ice cold water. You could see the ice in there still. And then, of course, you're going to need some sort of spatula or something like this to push the butter against the walls of the bowl. All right, so the first thing you want to do after you make sure your bowl and your attachment, your whisk attachment is clean, is you want to grab your 1 quart of heavy cream. Just go right ahead and put it right into your bowl. I have a splash guard here, which helps a lot. But a pro tip is if you don't have the luxury of a splash guard, or you lost it or it's broke, instead of buying another one, just get saran wrap or food service film and put it over the top here, and it'll keep everything inside from splashing. So next thing you're going to want to do is just turn it on real low, let everything start to mix a little bit, and then just crank it right up to 10. So at this point, I'm just kind of stopping it real quick so you can take a look. I'll just move the whisk out of the way. What we have here already is just whipped cream without any sugar or anything like that. But we want to go past this point of the whipping cream, and what we want is we want this fat to separate from the water and the milk, which is going to be left over, which is basically, or what it is really, is buttermilk, is the byproduct of making butter. Something you can do now is kind of take the splatter guard off and just start pushing all this stuff off the side and push it down. That way the whisk can kind of get in there. You can see it's starting to become almost like a whipped butter already. So it's super easy. I mean, you literally just pour something into a bowl and you turn your mixer on. You're gonna have to wash the butter, and obviously you're gonna have to watch it, otherwise it'll separate. Then you're gonna have to strain it in cheesecloth and let it sit, and it's better to just keep your eye on this the whole time. Doesn't take that long. I think it's gonna be less than 10 minutes. We're already making some wonderful whipped butter, but here you're gonna start to see the milk solids separate here. At this stage, you can start to see that the fats are clinging to the whisk, and in the bottom, if you can see over here and below it, right? What do we have? We have buttermilk that's starting to form, which means that our milk and our heavy cream is separating, and we're starting to have some butter form. So we'll just keep on going. I'm going to put the splash guard back on because it starts to get a little messy here. Just make sure you put everything off your spatula back onto the whisk so you don't waste anything. All right, so we have here is butter stuck to the whisks. I don't know if you can see it without getting too crazy. And down here we have all the buttermilk. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the buttermilk and I'm going to save it. I'm going to put it into a plastic container, put it in the fridge. You can make biscuits out of it, add it to pancake mix instead of regular. You're going to have buttermilk ready to go. One thing you might want to do first, though, forgot to mention, is take your butter, which is down in the bottom, and just push it up against the side wall. As this stuff starts to come off the whisk, just go ahead and take it off the whisk and put it into the buttermilk. Okay, once you have mostly everything off, see how there's butter over here, the buttermilk here, just push it up to the side. Just push all your butter on top of each other, even the little pieces that are floating. So you'll see you have a solid chunk of butter right there, buttermilk. Pour it off. Obviously, you're going to need to strain this bad boy once you pour it off. We can do that afterwards and then use that butter for something else. Should float right to the top. So here we have buttermilk, fresh made. Just cover it up, put it in the fridge. Put our attachment back on. We're almost there, right? Lock it in, lift it up. And now, this is the part where we're gonna need our water. The butter is good right now, but in order to make it perfect, you're gonna wanna wash it. You just wanna get all the rest of that buttermilk off of it, and so it's a nice clean butter. And from this point, you know, once you're done with this butter, it's going to be cold and it's going to be firm. You can either clarify it to make some clarified butter. You can leave it as it is and just use regular butter. You can salt it, you can pepper it. I mean, the sky's the limit. You can soften it and make a compound butter out of it using different ingredients, maybe some honey, maybe herbs, whatever you want to do. But this is making your own butter, and so now we're gonna wash it, and we're almost done. So you see, in the bottom, there's still all that buttermilk coming off the fresh butter. So what I'll do is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna pour this off. And then it's just like washing rice, right? You don't wash it one time, you wash it 2 times, maybe 3, until that water is nice and clear. So that's what we're gonna do again. So we're mostly clean here. I just want to do it one more time just to make sure and get everything off. Yeah, see, it's just a little. At this point we can put this in the washer. Not going to need that anymore. Drop this down. What we're left with here is some beautiful butter. This is clear enough. I mean, obviously it's not going to be crystal clear Aquafina Dasani ready to rock drink water, but this is it's clean. And so now we're going to pour this off one last time. I'm going to take the butter off of here, and then it's going to be time to store it. We'll give this thing a nice clean once we're done, but make sure you clean as you go. It just makes everything easier at the end too. You don't want stuff to dry up on you, and always have your kitchen towel ready to help you out here. So this butter is going to be cold. I'm going to take this and just scrape it off. Alright, so I took everything off the whisk. Now you can see the butter is here. It's sticking to the spatula. At this point, just use your hands. You know, make sure you wash your hands. Get everything cleaned off of your hands, your fingers. Just wash them really well. And the warmth coming from your body and from your hands is going to help make this a lot more pliable. You don't want to make it so warm that it starts to melt, but you're going to want to squeeze the butter with your hands. Some people use a cheesecloth at this stage. You don't have to. I do. You can squeeze all the remaining water out. There's going to be just a little bit left. So what I end up doing, I squeeze everything out. Now I got a ball, and so I'll take this remaining water, this remaining liquid, I'm just going to pour it out. It's going to be time to store this butter. Here you go. This is the butter that we've made today. You can see it's a nice big ball. I'm going to store this in an airtight container, just to make sure that it lasts as long as it possibly can. I think with this particular one, I'm going to divide it right down the middle. I'm going to put it in one container, put that in the fridge. I'm going to keep this other half, let it soften just a little bit more. I'm going to add some ghost pepper powder, maybe some roasted garlic, and maybe a couple herbs. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to make some ghost pepper butter. It's going to be delicious. Look for that recipe soon.